Thank you. Mama got in the station wagon and closed the door. Everybody in, she called. Donna? Yeah, Mom, I'm in the way back. Linda? Yeah, I'm here, but I get to trade with Donna in a little while. David? Here. Laura? I'm here, Mommy. And I have the baby up front here. All right, Dad, we're all here. Let's go. And Daddy backed the car out of the driveway at the house we lived on Kinchlow Air Force Base in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, at the very top of the Upper Peninsula. And we were headed for my grandmother's house in New Jersey. And that was because Daddy had been given a new assignment in Japan. But we couldn't go concurrent travel with him because of the way they worked it back then. And he had to go and establish things for us and then send for us later. So we were headed to my mother's house, my German Oma's house, which was a beautiful little cottage at the top of a hill over Lake Mohawk in Sparta, New Jersey. And that was a number of states, all through the Midwestern states to New Jersey, with 7 people in the car. Now, I want you to know that we were a musical family, a music-loving family. Nobody played an instrument, but we sang all the time. We especially loved Disney, like in Cinderella. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. And you may remember that one. Excuse me. And my folks had a record player that was always in use. And they had albums from movie soundtracks like The Pajama Game, The Wizard of Oz. They had Christmas Mormon Tabernacle Choir albums. We just listened to music all the time. Excuse me. And one album that I really remember was Johnny Mathis's Greatest Hits. My dad sang the first song on that album to my mother all the time, especially when he was feeling romantic. Chances are, 'cause I wear a silly grin, the moment you come into view, chances are you think my heart's in love with you. And he would say, all right, kids, tell your dad he has a beautiful voice. And we would say, you have a beautiful voice, Daddy. And so you can imagine that on the way on this long 3 to 4 day road trip, that the radio would be a very important part of the journey. Oh, and I remember one game my dad used to play with us, and you might remember this song. It was called Beep Beep from the early 60s. And it started out, it was a story song. And it was about a guy in a Cadillac who thinks that this little Nash Rambler is trying to pass him up because the guy's behind him and beeping. So it starts out really slow, and Daddy would get us all in a circle, all the kids, and we'd start out, while riding in my Cadillac, what to my surprise, but a little Nash Rambler was following me about 1/3 my size. The guy must have wanted to pass me up, 'cause he kept on tooting his horn. Beep, beep. They'll show him that a Cadillac is not a car to scorn. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, 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 beep. Thank you. So here we are on the road, and we're changing the stations whenever we need to, because there were no cassettes, not even cassettes. There were no CDs, there were no thumb drives to play any music you specifically wanted, nor was there satellite radio. You got the radio that came with whatever town or city was nearby. And they had limited range. So there'd be a big circle that this radio station could cover, But once you got out of their range, then another radio station would come in and often interrupt right in the middle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And also, you know, there'd be static. Sometimes you couldn't hear anything. But what you would do is you would tune into what you wanted to hear. And Mom and Dad were really cool. They liked pop music, unlike some parents. They liked songs like Soldier Boy, oh my little soldier boy. My mother especially liked that one because her husband was an airman, you know. One of my old favorites from that exact period of time was, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never let a pretty woman be your wife. You go from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. Oh dear. Anyway, we were hearing those sort of things as we drove along, and Mom would adjust the radio when she had to. And as we went from radio station to radio station, there was one song that seemed to be a really popular one that week, you know, top of the charts. And it had this high tenor voice singing the refrain, and it went, ay, 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 ay. Okay, and we would hear it over and over and over again. And Mom goes, oh, I wonder what that song is. It's such a cute song. The family began to sing along. After the third or fourth time we heard it, we're all in the car going, ay, 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 you know. And even the baby, ay, 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 he would go, it was so cute. So we would hear it and we wouldn't hear the end because another radio station would come in.
Oh, no.
Or we'd hear the beginning of it and then it would fade out and then it would fade in at the very last, but the DJ wouldn't tell us what it was. Maybe he said it at the beginning, I don't know. Or one time I remember we came in on the middle of the song and we're all singing along and then it ended and the DJ was just about to tell us what it was and he said, and that was, and another radio station. The whole car went, oh. Mama said, if I could find out what it was, I'd buy it. We could all sing it at home, you know. Well, all the way across to New Jersey, we never did hear what this song was. And we're singing and singing. So we get to New Jersey, we get set up at Oma's house, and we go over around the lake to my Uncle Idle's house, Aunt Dot's house, that's right on the lake. And my mom starts telling Aunt Dot, who was just this wonderful lady, about the song that we had kept hearing. She said, we never did hear what it was. We're trying to figure it out. It's driving us crazy. She goes, well, how does it go? And my mom, the only part we know so far is, ay, 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 you know. And my Aunt Dot goes, oh, I know what that is. It's the Four Seasons. And she goes, wait, because she had teenage sons. She had sons a little bit older than I was. I was 11. And she got the Four Seasons album, she put it on, she says, it's gotta be Big Girls Don't Cry, right? Oh, yeah. So we hear, big girls don't cry, ay, ay, they don't cry. And we're listening, and then she says, no, wait, that's not the part. And then they went, cry, ay, ay, you know, and we went, that's not it. She goes, okay, wait. And she put a couple of other numbers on there from the album. No, that's not it. It's like, So my mom finally said, I know, we're gonna go to a record store and ask. Okay, so we pile in the car and the whole family troops into this record store. 4 walking kids, 1 baby being held, 2 adults, and my mother's going, there's a song we're looking for, and it's driving us crazy because we couldn't ever find out what it was. The DJs just never got around to telling us. And the guy goes, well, how does it sound? 7 people going, ay, 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 ay. Oh, I know what that is. He turns around, he puts a little 45 on the, remember those? On the radio, on the record player, and 2 faces have I. I want to laugh and want to cry. 2 faces have I. Want to laugh and want to cry. And we're going, and then he starts going like, yeah. And we're going, that's it. That's it. Everybody's going, oh boy, we're hugging. We're so happy. We finally know what this song is. And of course, Mama bought the record right then and there. Yes. And we played it for Aunt Dot when we went back to her house. And what I remember about that is, number one, music speaks to us. Number two, it unites people. And it certainly united our family all the time. And number three, that I remember my family being so much fun to be with. And we all waited for Daddy. He went off to Japan. We waited for him 5 months, and he sent for us. And I remember finding some more songs as we went to Japan. But that's a whole bunch of other stories.